Hey guys, hey guys, what's up? It's Mike. As you can see, I sort of changed the location of video. Usually, it's in my living room, but now I'm gonna do it in my room. Um, so yeah, so I picked a crap ton of stuff today. It's pretty late at night, so I'm not gonna be doing too many reviews. You can expect my Batman review tomorrow. Tomorrow, which will be Thursday morning slash afternoon. I'll be putting that up, and my Wolverine the X-Men. I'm gonna be doing issues 2 and 3 tomorrow as well. Trying to see what else I picked up today. So tonight I'm gonna be doing actually my Amazing Spider-Man review of Amazing Spider-Man 675. 675? Yeah, 675 and 676. You can see. Um, I'm gonna be taking the 675 first and the 676. So we're gonna start off with 675 by the creative team of Dan Slott, Giuseppe, Camucoli, um, and it stars the Vulture. Um, Now, the issue last time we left off in 674, there's been a like a string of high-rise robberies, um, orchestrated by the Vulture. He's luring kids into to rob like plate buildings and stuff. So in this issue, we start off with Carly and Peter. They break into the police headquarters because Carly's technically not assigned to the case, and she needs Peter's help to get in, and Peter needs info. So 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 there's a interesting dynamic between them now that they're not dating slash now that Carly knows that Peter is Spider-Man, and it's tough for him to interact with her, especially because she knows his secret, and he reveals that a lot of people know his secret slash his life, and she is um I guess she feels that it's sort of tough for her. So we then move on to the Vulture, and he is telling everyone, their next plan. They're gonna rob another building, and that he has control of them. If they screw up, he'll take action and do his thing. Um, they move back to the nightclub that the Vulture runs, and they pretty much, they start a fight using their super strength, and they fly off. From there, Mary Jane, she's at the club with them. She goes and calls Peter, and TV's loud. She calls Peter and tells him, that there's problems. Peter, using his silly gadgets and stuff, sort of finds out that there's that they discover that there's a symbol on all the dead kids who are flying, which is with the W, and he's like, it's the Vulture. It's so then we go to the Vulture's crew. They're attacking a helicopter that's transporting like some sort of amount of money or treasure. They attack it. It's a bunch of gold coins, and one of the kids slips one to his pockets. Peter tries to him and Carly are then trying to narrow down the location of this place, and he gets a phone call from Mary Jane and finds out it's at not Miles Worthington, whatever, the Vultures Club, I forget his name. Peter swings off into to combat, and he saves one of the kids who's tried to steal from the Vulture. Um, and then he gets into a fight with the Vulture's crew and the Vulture. Ends up him using his new EMP webbing to sort of disrupt their signal of their suits, and then he webs them up. And then he sort of fights. It's Adrian Toomes. There we go, Adrian Toomes. That's his name. So when Adrian Toomes, apparently the Vulture has new powers now. He no longer just he can walk, fly, and he uses like gravity to increase his strength, and just like throw shit at Peter. And he escapes. So Peter goes back, Peter goes back to his apartment to fix his gear, and then Mary Jane and Carly have this weird. Carly goes to Mary Jane's place, and they have a meeting, and Peter has his Parker senses start tingling, and that's where the issue ends. Yeah, that's just a. I just went through that. I should try to go through that issue briefly, just because I want to get to this week's issue. Um, I sort of like this issue. As I said before in my last review of 674, I don't like Giuseppe Camucoli's art style. Especially in this issue, I feel faces got really weird compared to, like, if you compare 674 675, I prefer the 674 art. The faces got really weird in this. They weren't really consistent with the last issue, I feel. Um, in terms of Peter, Carly, and Mary Jane. Um, Other than that, I felt it got a little. Some of his lines got a little sloppy during the action scene. I feel it got a little chaotic. I'm just yeah. I was just continuing going on with the art. Other art. Otherwise, the art was solid. Good use of colors. Everyone was sort of identified. The the hard thing, the hardest things in this book is to differentiate between the people who are part of the Vulture's crew. They all look very similar. They're all like goth emo kids. So it's hard to differentiate between them. Other than that, not much else to say about the artwork. Other than that, it's pretty solid. He uses traditional colors, things like that. Um, yeah. So actually, I'm a little confused. Nothing. Story wise, this arc was the end of this two-part arc about the Vulture. I thought I felt a little flat. I feel. I was usually hoping for like this big battle or sorta, and I mean that's moments where it's good, but at the same time, it just felt like eh, like it really could have a lot more could have happened. I felt like, especially with the Vulture with his new powers and just Spidey and his dynamic, because most of it was just like him being a detective, which I don't mind that much, but it was a lot of like Carly and him like trying to interact, and I just don't like Carly Cooper. Um, but there are good parts in this issue. Like when he's crawling through the tunnel, he's like, I wish I had my stealth suit. She's like, you have a stealth suit. He's like, yeah, but my clone took it. He's like, you have a clone. He's like, yeah, long story. And then she's like, oh, I would know if you told me you're Spider-Man. That was good. And I also like the end when she goes to Mary Jane's house. And she's like, all the stories I could tell you. And Peter's Parker says this tingle. Like, there's a problem. Other than that, the story felt a little flat for me, so I'm gonna be giving 675 a two, not two, a 3 out of 5. It wasn't bad. Um, so it wasn't bad, but it just wasn't up to the standard that I feel Dan Slott, or that many people hold Dan Slott up to. Especially because his run has been like awesome, and I'm super excited for 2012. But for now, it's especially with the first issue of 2012 being a team up between Spider-Man and Daredevil. I'm really excited for that. So I'm gonna get 3 out of 5 for this issue. So I'm gonna be for 676. I was really excited for this issue. It's by Dan Slott, Humberto Ramos, Edgar Delgado, I believe, and Olazaba. Um, and it's Sinister Six censored issue. No Spider-Man whatsoever. Um, so it starts off with the Sinister Six in Doc Ock's like secret underwater base, and he is currently him. It was Mysterio and Electro putting him in a suit. Like he apparently the Doc Ock is ill. He's dying. He does not have long left, and he decides that there's a couple things he has to do before he dies. We then see a splash of the main opponents of the Sinister Six in the issue, and it's the Intelligentsia. It's composed of Mastermind, MODOK, the Thinker, a whole bunch of other random people. The Claw, some other random people I don't remember, or that aren't really important. That I don't really know the Intelligentsia. They're really not I don't feel they're not really Spider-Man bad guys. They're more Fantastic Four bad guys. They're the smartest dudes in the world. And so we then see Marco Flint and the Rhino. They're sort of training together, trying to win because Doc Ock has promised all the villains that he'd help them. He'd fulfill, like, he made a promise to each one of them about fulfilling something if they helped him achieve his goals. We then move on to see the Chameleon. He is sort of he's infiltrated the intelligentsia's base, and he tells them, that their weapon is operational, and Doc Ock says it's time to make our move. We then see the a group of heroes bust into the intelligentsia's base, and it is, I believe, the Winter Guard. That's their name, the Winter Guard, and they get sucked up by the weapon the intelligentsia created it, and it sends them these people into space. And we find out this weapon is called the Zero Cannon, and basically they use magnetic they warp the Earth's magnetic poles to locate on one person and teleport them to space. So the Claw disengages the shielding of the base, and Doc Ock and the Sinister Six attack. It's Mastermind, I believe, quickly unveils that he's like, oh, the shield's down. I know, no, yeah, Matt Tinker. I mean, Matt Tinker, is that the Matt Tinker? No, character design's weird in this. Yeah, Matt Tinker. It's Matt Tinker and Red Ghost. Matt Tinker. He unmasks the Chameleon, and it's just a giant superhero beatdown, super villain beatdown, super villain beatdown. It's not really often you see a villain-centered book. And they start just throwing down, and Doc Ock challenges MODOK to essentially zero-G chess. He's like, using this cannon, we send each other's pieces into space, and whoever has the most wins. And each of the Sinister Six start taking down start fighting their own opponent. The Rhino fights the Mad Thinker's android. Electro tries to fight the Mad Thinker. The Mad Thinker disengages Electro's upgrades because he gave them to him. Mysterio fights the Red Ghost, who has cybernetic, who has genetically enhanced apes, and he uses his illusion powers to sort of whoop up on him. And then Wizard and Sandman, who are part of the Frightful Four or Fearsome Four, I think they call Frightful Four, who are the adversaries of the Fantastic Four. They're allies, they're friends. So Kane Marco doesn't really want to fight him. Well, Doc Ock sends the Wizard into space. Bam. I don't know if they're dead or not. I'm a reserve judgment. And then Electro throws the Mad Thinker into the space, into the laser beam. And then the Rhino throws the android into space, and then Mysterio using reveals that, which I think is awesome, that he never left Doc Ock Giant Robot. He's been playing Angry Birds the entire time, and the Red Ghost been finding ghosts or illusions the whole time. So Red Ghost goes into space, and Doc Ock lets MODOK and his AIM agents go, and it turns out that they blow up the base, and they do a cool walk away, not looking at the explosion. And then they ask, if we're not going to use the cannon, why do we even bother? And Doc Ock explains, he couldn't let them take over the world in 2011 when he's going to take it over in 2012. And that's when the issue ends. Story-wise, I looked forward to this issue very much because it was an issue just about the Sinister Six. It was just the idea was very enticing. And I felt that Dan Slott did a good job of this issue. It sets up 2012 very nicely because the Sinister Six are going to be a play. Doc Ock, especially, are going to play a major role in Amazing Spider-Man. I think he did a great job here. He wrote all the characters true to their type of true to themselves. K Marco, he tried to he wants to see his daughter. The Rhino really doesn't have anyone left. His mom's dead. His wife's dead. So his secret is, I don't know. He's like, we don't know what his secret is. Mysterio is just a dick. Electro is hot-headed, impulsive because of his lightning powers, and Chameleon's that ninja with the gun. But yeah. So story-wise, great story. I felt that the Winter Guard part of the story was a little dull, especially. I mean, we needed someone to test the Zero-G cannon on, but it was like whatever, I guess, a little bit. As for the fight between the intelligentsia, I thought went down awesome, especially because it was villain versus villain, and you really don't know who to root for. You root for the villains you like, and if you like the Fantastic Four villains, power to you. If you like the Spider-Man villains, why not? No, I felt that. Well, I feel that the Sinister Six winning the way they did was a little underwhelming. I mean, it seemed like they just wiped the floor, especially because these people don't really have powers. Um, these guys were just the smartest people. They really couldn't beat these, and it makes sense. Muscle over mind, especially these guys. That was a little underwhelming, but all in all, good solid story. As for art, Humberto Ramos was on this book, on this issue. I thought it was great. I think his art style works really well for the more zany type of comic than a serious setting. The more crazy, the more action, like Sandman throwing sand, lightning electricity being thrown everywhere. Electro, there's apes. It was just shenanigans. Humberto Ramos art is very neat. It works well at this. Other than that, not much else to say about the art. I'm gonna be giving this issue a 3.5 out of 5. Just because some parts are underwhelming, and even though it's a good issue, it's a good comic. It's worth the read, but little parts are underwhelming. Some parts I felt were just just thrown in, like the Winter Guard, were just eh. And I would have liked a guest appearance from I don't mind that it is Sinister Six centric. I would like a glimpse of Spider-Man in the book. Maybe him doing there's no crimes. It's on his day off. He's just hanging out, doing Spider-Man stuff. It would been interesting to see a day in the life of Spider-Man when he's not doing superhero stuff. So thanks for watching, guys. I'm gonna be posting up a bunch of videos this week. Let me know what you guys bought, and if you liked this video, if you liked these issues, if you didn't, the whole 9 yards, I guess. Um, Thanks for watching. Let's subscribe if you want to keep updated on my videos. I also have a Twitter, I guess. You can follow me on Twitter. I talk there too sometimes. Thanks for watching, guys.